Hey guys, what's up? I'm Erin and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered what type of income does it take to be considered upper class in today's society? Is it $100,000, $200,000, maybe more? Well, if you can, take a moment and share your thoughts in a comment down below. Pause the video if you need to, because I'm really curious as to what your opinion on this subject is. I'll include myself here. As a Midwest native, I tend to think that this number might start around $150,000 a year, maybe $200,000 a year, subject to change based on location and family size. So imagine my surprise to see a ZipRecruiter headline stating that an individual income of roughly $60,000 a year qualifies as upper class in America. My immediate reaction was disbelief, thinking there has to be some fine print here because this can't be the whole story. ZipRecruiter reports that they are seeing annual salaries on their site as high as $108,000 a year and as low as $20,000 a year. Going on to say that the majority of salaries within the upper class jobs category currently range between $39,000 a year, the 25th percentile, and $68,000 a year, the 75th percentile, with top earners, the 90th percentile, making $86,000 a year annually across the United States. Let's take a pause right there. That $60,000 income, that refers to the median income on their site. So solidly a middle tier income, not an upper tier income. So saying that that represents an upper class income is misrepresenting the data. Let's consider that the median individual income in the United States is about $60,000 per year. And the median income for households, well, that's closer to $81,000. So all of this data points to this being a solid median figure. ZipRecruiter is kind of saying that any income above a median should be considered an upper tier income. However, Pew Research does actually give us a definition of how income levels should be considered relative to the median. The Pew Research Center suggests that we can look at income as being in a range, with a lower income range, a middle income range, and an upper income range. For a middle class income, that range starts at just 2/3 to double the median household income. So if we look at the median household income in the United States coming in at about $81,000, this means that the middle class income would be anywhere from about $54,000 all the way up to $161,000 a year. So if we were to try and answer the question of what would be considered a lower income, it would be an income of less than $54,000 a year. And what would be considered a higher income? It would be those households with an income beyond $161,000 a year. This seems much more realistic when it comes to defining that entry point for what might be considered an upper class income. Also, it's important to keep in mind that Pew Research does present their data based on household income, so there may be multiple earners in a household. Also, keep in mind that Pew Research does adjust their data based on location and family size, so for more specifics, you can go to their website. For someone living in New York City or San Francisco, it very well may be that you need an income of $200,000 or $300,000 in order to think of yourself as having an upper class income. And when we talk about a family of two, that's very different than talking about a family of, say, 6. So while Pew Research does give us definitions, I think it's better to look at them as guidelines rather than concrete definitions. I know it can be a sticking point for many that this data is presented as household figures. Often when I talk about this type of data, I receive a lot of comments from people wishing that the numbers for incomes or net worths were presented on an individual basis because so many people are not coupled up. So for the sake of inclusivity, let's take some artistic liberties and use the Pew Research definitions and apply it to the median individual income. This would give us a middle income range of about $40,000 to about $119,000 a year on the individual level. Beyond that range, you could consider it an upper income earning level, and lower than this range might be considered lower income. When talking about these different categories of income, it's notable that we've seen different trends over time. In the past 4 decades, the median income for upper income earners has increased at a rate of 64%, while median incomes for middle income earners has increased at a rate of 49%. So it truly seems to be that if you become a higher income earner, it becomes easier for you to grow your income over time and then indirectly grow your wealth over time. And there's no doubting the fact that as your income increases, it increases your avenues for wealth creation. When looking at wealth level based on income, Pew Research notes that higher income earners tend to have 7.4 times the wealth level of middle income earners and 75 times the wealth level of lower income earners. Income and wealth gaps are largely known matters in our nation, but if we focus specifically on income, having a higher income makes it easier to build wealth. You simply have more discretionary income. And if we hone in specifically on middle income earners tend to be more reliant on home equity as a form of wealth creation. This can leave them more vulnerable to housing market fluctuations. Consider that the median net worth for those aged 65 to 69 is about $393,000. But once we exclude home equity, the median net worth falls to about $132,000. In this case, this means that for the typical person at or near retirement, their home represents nearly 2/3 of their net worth. On the other hand, with a higher income throughout your working careers, you have greater opportunities to invest beyond simply your primary residence. Maybe you invest in a business or real estate or the stock market. Having the opportunity to invest in income-generating assets or in assets that appreciate over time gives you a greater capacity to build wealth. Let's take a moment and exclude primary residence and look at net worth changes for higher income families versus middle income families over the past 40 years. Higher income families have seen a 33% increase in median net worth outside of their primary residence, whereas middle income families have seen a 20% decrease in median net worth. And again, when I see stats like this, I think it really highlights the importance of making sure that you're investing, making sure that you're putting your money to work. There's a huge cost to not putting your money to work. Yes, absolutely. Building wealth gets easier when you have a higher income. You simply have more room within your budget. You have more dollars to work with. But I still think this highlights the importance of taking a portion of every single paycheck at every single income level and investing it, putting your money to work, taking advantage of compounding, and building wealth over time. One of the key things we see over and over again is that higher incomes tend to be coupled with areas that tend to have higher costs of living. For instance, you're more likely to earn a higher income in a metro area than a rural area just based on opportunities. And I come from a town with a population of less than 4,000 people and just 2 stoplights. And truth be told, I love my hometown. It's absolutely beautiful. I will go back and visit any day of the week. I can't rave enough about it. And that town really built who I am today. But moving out of that hometown and into the Portland metro area in my 20s opened up a world of opportunities that never would have otherwise been available to me. It allowed me to enter into a new field and eventually start my own business. And today I get to work with people across state lines and in different countries. And that's pretty amazing. And yes, moving to a higher cost of living area may negate the boost in income. You have to consider the additional costs as well. But I do think going to a metro area opens up a world of opportunities for income increases over time that often are not available in those more rural areas. Definitions on upper class income may vary from sources like Pew Research and factors like household size and geographic location. But one thing remains clear: building wealth is achievable at any income level. Don't let any definitions or headlines hold you back. Your income is the most powerful tool you have for building wealth, no matter what size. Make sure that you're putting a portion of your income to work, investing, and focus on building a brighter financial future. Still, I think it's best to try and increase your income over time. That opens up more options to you, gives you more power to build wealth over time, but your income remains a powerful tool no matter what its size. Share your thoughts on what is considered an upper income level in the comments down below. I post new videos every single week. If you got anything at all out of this one, please give it a like. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, or if you know of someone who might get something out of this type of content, please consider sharing. I'll see you soon. Bye. I have a math error. I gotta fix it first. It's gonna offend somebody. Okay. It's okay. We can say it. It's not offensive. Say it with me. It's not offensive. What is going on out there? It is just a season for sickness. Nah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Always shutting. Jeez, Pete's. It's represented. I don't know. Represented. I'm sure that's how you say it. I got stuck. Stupid. That was a stupid phrasing. that have been important. It wasn't. It was the fact that I wrote to Halo Top for a refund 5 years ago and took a photo. So my watch felt it was a good idea to tell me about that. A world love. Comments and a thought down below. That's really annoying. I was just wrapping up the video.